Hi everyone, welcome back to our Adobe Illustrator workshop. I'm Shane for IT Society. So today, we're going to talk about the layer at the right corner here, the selection tool, black cursor, and the direct selection tool, white cursor at the top two icons in the left panel. So first, let's create a square. So let's select the rectangle tool, hold shift, and drag on the canvas to create a perfect square. Okay, let's change the color of the square. Let's say I want to choose blue. Okay, then let's navigate to the right bottom layer panel. You can see a small button here, which you can create a new layer here. Let's click and create a new layer. So now we are at the second layer. So let's create a circle at the second layer. Select the ellipse tool, hold shift, and drag to create a perfect circle here. Then go back to the selection tool by click V. That's the shortcut key, or you can select the buttons here, but I prefer V. Then you can see our cursor become a black cursor. Then you will see these two outline is different. This is a blue and this is a red, which indicate they are at a different layer at here, because the layer 1 is a blue and the layer 2 is red. So now, for the layer, unlike in a Photoshop, you can place more than one item in one layer. So let's say I want to create one more square at the layer 1. Select the square, let's copy and paste by clicking Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So now we have a two square at the layer 1, both in blue color. So while designing, we don't want to disrupt our background layer once we complete it. So the layer tool, we can lock the layer to not moving our background. So let's say the layer 1 is our background with two squares. Now we can lock the layer by clicking this small toggle lock here. Once we click, you will see one lock here, which means the shape here cannot be moved anymore. Only this circle can be moved because it's another layer. And also, when you see a small eyes here, when we click it, we will see the square here disappear because it's like visibility. Once we get it back, it will appear again. So we can also lock only one item in one layer. So let's say we unlock the layer 1, expand the layer, you can see there are two items here. So once we select one of it, you can see a small blue square here. It means that we select this shape. So same as just now, you can click the lock here. So this rectangle is locked. It cannot be moved anymore, but this can be moved. Okay, so this is for the layer tool. So now, get back to our selection tool, unlock the square here. So with the selection tool, when we select one of the shape here, you can see there are a few small white boxes out of the shape. It will enable us to adjust the shape of the square. You can just simply click and drag to adjust it. So beside, you can use the scaling tool to change the shape of the square. So we select the square. Now you can either go to the scaling tool at here, or you can click S for the shortcut key. So once you click S on the keyboard, you can see our cursor become a cross here. Then the blue outline here, it means this square is selected. Now we can click and drag on the canvas. You can see we are changing the scaling of the square here. And also, you can hold shift to not changing the scaling and just modify the size of the square. Alright, so next, go back to the selection tool by clicking. Next, we are going to the rotate tool. So once we select the square and we put our cursor near to the corner of the square, you can see our cursor turn to a double arrow here. Then, once our cursor becomes a double arrow, you can click and drag to rotate the square. But beside this, you can rotate the square by using the rotate tool here, or you can click R. So once you click R, you'll see our cursor become a cross like just now we did. And now, same goes with the scaling tool. Just click and drag on the canvas. Then we can rotate the shape here. So you can hold shift and rotate also. Once we hold shift and rotate, each one we turn will be 45 degrees. Like now you see. Alright. So now get back to the selection tool by click V. And also when we select the square, you can see there are four small dots at here. So this is actually the curvature tool. Once we click and drag, we will create a curved square here. Okay, so undo it with Ctrl+Z. So if you want to just adjust one of the points here, one of the corner here, you can just double tap the small dot here, and you can see the small dot now become an empty circle. So now click and drag this circle. There's only one corner is being modified. Alright, so now let's move on to the direct extraction tool. You can just select the direct extraction tool by clicking this button, or you can press A as the shortcut key. So we'll press A, you can see our cursor now become a white cursor. So now, when we select one of the boxes, you'll see the white boxes just they disappear and only left those 4 points here. This point we so call the anchor point that we can modify by using the direct extraction tool. So with the direct extraction tool, you can select one of the points and modify it and changing the shape. So by using this direct extraction tool, you can create a lot of shape we want. And also, you can modify a straight line by using the direct extraction tool. So now let's draw a straight line using the line tool. Then we get back to the direct extraction tool by press A. Select the line. So you can change the direction of the line by using direct extraction tool. Okay, so it's a different story on the first line. So now let's select the circle using the direct extraction tool. So now you can see there's 4 points here. So once we select the point, we can see there are straight lines on the point, different with the corners at here. So this straight line is actually the handle. Same goes to the corner point. We can modify this point by dragging this. Then the handle is actually used to adjust the turning point of the curved line. And you can drag to modify the curvature of the line, just like this. And alright, that's all for me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Good luck and have a nice day. Thank you.